Hello everyone, welcome to Achievers IAS classes. Let's begin our discussion on the current events of 11th August 2018. The first issue in news is regarding the Kanchenjunga Biosphere Reserve. It is the highest biosphere reserve in the country, which includes the third highest mountain peak in the world. The International Coordinating Council of the Man and Biosphere Reserve Program of UNESCO has recently included it in the World Network of Biosphere Reserves, thereby raising the total number of biosphere reserves from the country included in the list to 11. The last biosphere reserve to be included in the list was the Agastyamalai Biosphere Reserve in Kerala in 2016, and the first to be included on the list was the Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. India has 18 biosphere reserves, of which now 11 have been included in the list, and the move is set to boost research as well as tourism. Prior to the inclusion under the list, the Kanchenjunga National Park was already described as India's first mixed World Heritage Site and is also one of the world's 34 biodiversity hotspots because of the species diversity with a high level of endemism, with the flora consisting of thousands of flowering plants, medicinal plants, rhododendrons, oaks, and ferns. The fauna includes several species protected under the Wildlife Protection Act like the red panda, snow leopard, Himalayan black deer, etc. The reserve is also home to 500 species and subspecies of bird, including the high altitude pheasants, of which the blood pheasants are declared as the state bird of Sikkim. All the statements which I discussed so far are important from the examination perspective, which can be straightaway lifted in the prelims examination. Now let's move on to the next issue, which is regarding the threat of heavy flooding in many parts of Kerala. The Indian National Centre for Ocean Information Services has issued a tidal flood warning to Kerala, and also the State Disaster Management Authority has issued red alert for 8 districts following a heavy rainfall in the recent days. Due to this, excess water has been released by the Cherutoni Dam, which could flood the downstream areas in Idukki and Ernakulam districts. In order to prevent any untoward incident, Operation Mother has been launched by the Southern Naval Command, and humanitarian and disaster relief operations are carried out by the Indian Air Force in order to extend all possible assistance to the people affected by landslides and floods in Kerala. The next issue is regarding the launch of Parivesh, which is a single window hub for environment, forest, wildlife, and CRZ clearances. It is developed in pursuance of the spirit of Digital India with an aim of minimum government and maximum governance. The main highlights of the portal include single registration and single sign in for all types of environmental clearances as well as a unique ID for the same. With that, let's move on to the next issue, which is regarding the launch of India Science Technology and Innovation Portal by the Union Science Ministry. Currently, the portal can be queried for information about the organizations carrying out research, those funding them, international collaborations, as well as their achievements and impact. The portal follows the launch of an internet based science channel, that is indiascience.in, which showcases the developments in science and technology in India. Both the portal and the channel are part of the efforts by the Science Ministry to push its public outreach, and the ministry is also considering launch of a dedicated science channel to improve scientific awareness. On that note, let's move on to the next issue, which is an editorial regarding the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Yemen. As I have discussed previously too, there has been a civil war going on in Yemen between the Shia Houthi rebels and the Sunnis. The Shia Houthis are said to be backed by Iran, and the Sunnis are backed by Saudi Arabia, which is supported by the US. The military intervention of Saudi Arabia, which has launched airstrikes on the Shia Houthi rebels, has resulted in what the United Nations calls the world's most severe humanitarian crisis. This is because The Saudi-led coalition, backed by the US, has targeted public infrastructure, killed thousands of civilians, displaced thousands of people, and has also blocked food and aid supplies. Yemen has also witnessed an unprecedented cholera outbreak, and the healthcare system has collapsed, with millions of people having no access to clean water and more than 8 million people threatened by acute hunger. Despite all this, Saudi Arabia has not been deterred, nor has it come under any serious international pressure to halt its catastrophic campaign. Instead, it blames Iran and the Houthi rebels for using civilians as human shields. In this background, it is high time that the international community paid serious attention to improve conditions in Yemen and bring in enough pressure to push for a negotiated settlement between the Yemeni government and the Houthi rebels. On that note, I'm wrapping up today's news analysis. Do like, share, and comment to support this initiative. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.